All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Instagram Fundamentals Lunch and Learn today. We're going to go through some different best practices and different ways to make your Instagram the best it can be, and go through some ways to make it professional and successful when it comes to posting on social media. So with that being said, can someone confirm that they can see my screen?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So on a monthly basis, we like to go ahead and provide opportunities for you to meet with our team and for you guys to meet with your peers and to talk about best practices regarding platform-specific sessions as we roll out new features and new functionalities. As you know, we did recently add Instagram, which is why we're gathered here right now to go ahead and talk about that. So today we're going to go over, like I said, best practices, helpful tips, just to make the most out of using Instagram as a really powerful tool in your toolbox. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Kylie. I am a customer success manager for Denim Social. I have about 7 years of customer success experience under my belt. I specialize in social media best practices, posting strategy, and leveraging the tools that you have in your toolbox to succeed with social. From the customer success team, we also have Taylor here. She's just going to be going ahead and answering any questions that you have in the chat. We also have a new face that you are going to soon be familiar with. His name is Marquise. I'm going to hand it off to him and let him give a little introduction.
Hey everyone, my name is Marquise Cunningham. I am the product marketing manager here at Denim. I come to the table with about 10 years of marketing and product experience, and yeah, looking forward to working with you all.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my video so I don't distract you guys here, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So as you guys know, Instagram is one of the more powerful tools that you have regarding social media. If you want your business's content to reach customers, having a presence on Instagram is a given. It is, after all, the second most popular social media platform behind Facebook. But in order to make the most of your Instagram page and to attract and engage visitors and drive them to your website, and convert them into leads and eventually into customers, you're going to need to optimize your Instagram presence. So for those of you that attended our previous Lunch and Learns from LinkedIn and Facebook, you might recognize a theme of how we approach optimizing your presence on social media. So although some of those principles are very similar, there are a few important differences in platforms. So keep that in mind as we go through today's material. So to start off, we're going to talk about the numbers. So the average person is spending almost half an hour daily just on Instagram. And I know a lot of you are like, no, I definitely spend more time on that. Keep in mind, that's an average. And on top of that, they're more likely to engage with content on Instagram more than any other social media platform. And on top of that, the content that they are engaging with is largely driven by what they're looking to purchase. So the average Instagram user is a female between the ages of 18 to 34 years old. They're spending, like we said, about a half hour a day on the app, and they're engaging with at least one business account daily. And Instagram users are among the most dedicated social media users regarding the frequency at which they log into the app. They're logging in at least once a day, if not more. On top of that, 50% of the people who have visited a website or decided to make a purchase, they did so after seeing a product or a service on Instagram. So it's a very valuable tool to have. And given the fact that the median age for the first-time home buyer, for example, in America is 33 years old, your target audience for a first-time home buyer is likely on Instagram every day, checking out the stuff that you're posting. So Instagram is all about telling a story. Looking at a profile, you can tell a lot about a business or a person that you'd like to do business with just by taking a look at their Instagram, since it is, at its core, an image-centric platform. And it's a place that people flock to in order to get a good first impression of someone or a business that they would like to do business with. So that being said, we're going to zone in on 3 important areas in order to build your Instagram business page and in turn, build up your pipeline. So we're going to go over building your professional brand, building a community and creating that human connection because people do business with people. People don't want to do business with a company. And lastly, we're going to go over providing value. We will also go over best practices throughout the entire presentation today to ensure that you're getting the most out of your social media efforts. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Marquise to review the basics of establishing your professional brand.
So when you look at establishing your professional brand, you'll definitely want to make sure that you're using an Instagram business page and you're making it with your customers in mind. 50% of Instagram 50% of Instagram users follow at least one business. So optimizing to your profile's curb appeal with an updated photo, information, and credentials, it'll give your profile the strength it needs to stand out from the competition. And if you're asking yourself, does it really matter? Think of it this way. How important is the design of a website in regards to how it appeals to existing or potential clients and customers? In this case, our Instagram acts a lot like a website, therefore looks do matter. Many of you have already had a business pages set up. Your company may have even helped you out with that. The main thing to remember is that you want people to easily see your face, find your information in order to contact you, and any other information you want them to know. Not to mention, you want them to see all the content you're posting to establish your credibility. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. On Instagram, there are a few things to keep in mind. Your profile must be public, and when you set up your business page, you'll need to pick a category. So make sure it's as specific as possible. Our example here, Nicole, it's in loan service, and you should make your contact information available as well. Instagram gives you a 150 character limit, so it is essential to be unique and give a call to action if it works for your business. This could include a hashtag, a website, or both. And please feel free to be dynamic with that as things change for your business. And finally, you want your bio to be easily digestible. So snack-sized bits of information work uniquely well on Instagram. And for those of you that had attended our Facebook and LinkedIn Lunch and Learn, you may recall that we went over the do's and don'ts of profile pictures on LinkedIn. The same principles are applicable to Instagram as well. A profile picture is a key element to your professional social presence, and after all, it's your first impression to potential customers. You want your business page to be friendly and inviting, but most importantly, it needs to be professional. Since customers will typically see your image before reading your bio, make sure it falls within the guidelines of professional, not personal. And here are some tips for taking a great Instagram photo. You want to make sure that you dress for business. Wear what you would wear if you were in a meeting or going face-to-face with a new client. Make sure you're smiling and looking at the camera as well. It just helps create approachability and adds virtual eye contact with profile viewers. And when you upload a photo, make sure it's within the frame itself. Make sure that you crop your photo and you want your face to almost fill the entire frame of that Instagram provides. And lastly, use only a high resolution photo, high quality.
Oh, did we lose you, Marquise? All right, I'll take it from here. So next, we're going to talk about building your following and building a human connection within that following. So now that we have your profile built out and it looks professional and it looks
high quality images, it should be around.
All right, I think you might be having some connectivity issues. That's okay, we'll keep going here. So we're gonna talk about building your community of followers and telling a story. So I'm gonna be going over the basics of how to build your community in this section. And an account doesn't necessarily grow overnight. It can be a marathon instead of a sprint, as we all know. But consistency is what's really gonna keep your followers engaged and wanting more. So you may remember in our Facebook and LinkedIn Lunch and Learns that we talked about a posting strategy. That same strategy holds true for Instagram as well. So when it comes to posting, the average successful Instagram business account posts about once a day on their feed, along with posting on stories, IGTV, and Reels, but we'll touch on those later. So how often you post will vary greatly depending on your demographic and your geographic location. However, a safe place to start is posting about 3 to 5 times a week, utilizing our 411 posting strategy. So for those of you who are new to Denim, or if you just need a quick refresh on the 411 posting strategy, typically we recommend that for every 4 evergreen posts that you share on social, you add in 1 company and 1 personal post. An evergreen post would be something from our content library or the collections that Denim Social curates for you. It's content relevant to your area of expertise, and it works to educate and inform your followers. And it also really helps you add credibility to your brand, and it helps you become more of a subject matter expert or thought leader in the area that you focus in. Homegrown posts are all about your financial institution, the specific one that you work at, or community involvement. So showing what your specific institution can do for your audience is where you're going to want to hone in on for those homegrown posts. Finally, we have personal posts. A great example of this is if you have an LO who maybe has an anniversary within your organization. Posting a picture of them with a congratulations, 10 years is a great way to gain engagement. And I have found that a lot of times those posts do gain the most engagement out of evergreen or the homegrown posts. Those really personal one-on-ones gain a lot more engagement because a lot of times your followers are going to recognize them from the community and want to, give them a like or comment on that post. So to make scheduling easy for you, we've actually put together a guide for the content to help you get your strategy started. So this may seem like a lot and overwhelming, but try starting with posting, 2 to 3 days a week of evergreen content and just fill in the gaps with your personal or homegrown content. For many of you, evergreen content is actually already in Denim Social in your content library. Another tip that we like to share is to just block off 15 to 20 minutes, either at the beginning of each week or, at the beginning of the month, and schedule out these evergreen posts. And then throughout the month, fill in the gaps with your personal or homegrown posts. So when it comes to Instagram, just like any other social media platform, there are great times to post, and then there are not so great times to post. So for Instagram, the best times to post are Tuesday through Friday between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. If you look at that, that's your work day, and typically, maybe a lunch break in there. That's when people are scrolling on their apps. So that's, if you're on Instagram, chances are more people are on Instagram, and that's a great time to post. The single best time to post of any day is either a Tuesday or a Thursday right at 2 p.m. And all of these are in central time zones. And then the worst day to post on Instagram is a Saturday or a Sunday. And keep in mind that these times are just generic over all industries. So they may not exactly fit your followers. So it's important to monitor when your specific audience is engaging the most with your content and use that as a more structured guide as to when your followers are engaging and when to post. So gaining followers may seem like a daunting task, and it can be difficult to get them to, one, follow, but then to stay engaged. And there are definitely some do's and don'ts to gain followers. So do tag your business partners in your posts. So when you tag someone, not only will they see your content, but they are likely to share that post in their stories on Instagram, and that post will actually direct followers back to your post. Engage with your followers. Encourage people to like a post, follow your page, and even to tag people in the comments. Doing this will not only boost your engagement, but it's also going to introduce new people to your page. And remember, the more engagement you receive, the more people are going to see your posts. And finally, follow people and businesses in your community and your industry. This will not only give you some inspiration on what kind of content to post and what kind of content is getting a lot of traction, but if you follow people who are in your industry, they're likely to follow your page back. And then we have the don'ts. So the content that you post matters. So make sure that the picture that you're posting is clear, it's eye-catching, It's not a standard stock photo. With Instagram, like we've mentioned, it's all about the visuals. So you want to be eye-catching and get attention without being too cluttered. Don't go through other profiles and follow a bunch of people. We definitely recommend following those in your industry, thought leaders in your industry, so that you can build a good network of people, but you don't want to go through and follow 50 accounts under one institution. It may seem like a good idea to do that, but remember, Instagram is very strict with their best practices and their policies, and following a large amount of people at once to Instagram is suspicious, and it can look like bot-like activity. And since Instagram is strict with their policies, they do have the tendency to maybe block your account for a few days. So remember, followers are important, but engagement is a top priority. So follow the thought leaders, don't follow 50 pages at once. And finally, don't be afraid to get creative. Remember, your audience on Instagram is likely a millennial who likes to see something eye-catching and different when scrolling. You know, we're seeing the same thing over and over again. You want to catch the millennial's eye. And as a millennial, I can attest to that. And we do work in a very highly regulated space. So just keep that in mind when you're posting on Instagram. Be creative, but make sure you're sticking with your institution's policies when it comes to social media. Next, we're going to kick it back over to Marquise to talk about optimizing your Instagram presence.
Last area of focus is creating value for your audience by sharing insightful content. You can have a huge follower count and the perfect profile, but if you're not active and keeping yourself top of mind, they might go elsewhere when they need the services you provide. We touched on what to post, but I want to share some key differences in Facebook versus Instagram. As I mentioned, Instagram is more of a visual platform. You share your story via images, whereas Facebook, it gives you an opportunity to share links to articles and share your story with words. With that being said, here are my tips for optimizing your content. For starters, be intentional with visuals and captions. Think of your Instagram profile like an extension of your storefront. You want to make sure that you use photos that engage, educate, or excite people about your business. Caption, keep it short and sweet and lead with the most important information first and end with a call to action or a call to value, like click the link in our bio to learn more. Hashtags, use relevant hashtags, the @ symbol. It basically allows you to leverage hashtags or allows you to leverage mentions in your captions. And that way people interested in these topics can easily find you. A note on hashtags is to keep them relevant to your business, but be careful to not use too many. 5 to 10 usually should suffice. And you want to make sure that you're not using the exact same hashtags for every post, as that can trigger Instagram to believe your content is spam. And unlike Facebook, with Instagram, you have the opportunity to showcase brand and creative through a visual, enticing look. Create a consistent look and feel to build familiarity with your business. It's important to post regularly and maintain a similar look and feel across your photos and videos. Use consistent colors and try using the same color palette across your photos and videos for an easy way to create consistency throughout your brand. Create a theme and make sure that you're considering similar photos that show unique sides to your business. And establish your tone. This is where your business's personality can really shine. And keeping in mind your compliance regulations, and you can be playful to engage your audiences who may be looking for the first home, more informative or more formal. It's up to you and how you want to present yourself. Just remember to maintain a similar tone for any captions, comments, or text used in your posts. So you've created a professional Instagram account with a killer bio and a call to action. Your content is being posted regularly using Denim's handy scheduling tool and calendar feature. Your content is being posted with intention, has a consistent look and tone throughout, and you're gaining followers and getting engagement left and right. We need to track this so we can do more of what's working. Check your performance weekly in Denim Social to see performance over time. And also make sure that you check Instagram Insights for posts and audience specific information. You can check your performance in Denim Social by navigating to the left panel of your home screen and clicking the bottom option called Reports. Then click Social Performance. And then here you can track your page reach and the total number of unique accounts that have seen your posts, and impressions, which are how many times your post was seen in total. And just know that it is important to understand how the content you're sharing is gaining traction, and tracking your following and engagement over time can give you a better understanding of your social performance. Be careful about getting caught up in every piece of data on your page as well. And what will really matter is engaging with your audience and building strong relationships with them. That's going to help drive your business down the line. And let's wrap it up with some best practices to build your following, create human connections, and create value for your audience.
All right, so let's do a quick little recap of everything that we've gone over. So first off, why Instagram? Well, it's in the top 5 most popular social media platforms used by millennials. Facebook, for millennials specifically, didn't even reach the top 5. And a 34-year-old female, like we mentioned, is the one who's using Instagram, and the average first-time home buyer is about 33 years old. So with that being said, it's a really important tool for those of you who are, maybe working in the business of attracting a first-time home buyer. So establishing yourself as a knowledgeable yet approachable brand in the financial space is really what Instagram is great at. You get to create consistency, and you get to create great content geared towards your audience. And you get to create, eye-catching visuals that are going to get you noticed by people that are going to hopefully help you build your pipeline. And since Instagram is all about the visuals, you get the chance to show your creative side as a brand and set that tone and set that tenor for your brand utilizing the social media platform. You also want to utilize the 411 posting strategy. That's a great place to start, like we said, regarding how often you should post and how to gain engagement. After you start with the 411 posting strategy, look at your Denim social analytics that you have built in and take a look at your analytics in Instagram using those insights. See what posts are working, which posts aren't, and the ones that are working, do more of that. Like I said previously, a lot of the posts that gain a lot of attention happen to be those personal posts, the ones that are showing community involvement or someone within your organization. So just keep that in mind. So after you establish your professional brand, you get a good handle on when to post and what to post, you're now an Instagram expert. And after that, we can kind of go into some of the fun little extras that Instagram has to offer. So we can't have an Instagram lunch and learn without talking about Instagram stories, IGTV, and Reels. So these are features within Instagram that most of us know about that allow you to showcase video content in bite-sized pieces. Those extras, like stories, can increase engagement on your page, thus bringing in new followers. So there are many capabilities within these features, such as polls or opportunities for people to ask your brand a question in stories. The same rules apply to these features, just like posting on your page. You get to set the consistency and the tone of your brand, and you just want to make sure that what you're posting is within your compliancy guidelines for your brand. And an important note on these features, so Instagram does not allow for a seamless integration for any third party to post stories, create a reel, or IGTV. Because of this, to use stories, IGTV, or Reels, you have to go natively to the actual Instagram app to utilize these features. And just ensure that you discuss with your marketing team prior to posting to make sure that you're staying compliant with these features, these additional features that Instagram has to offer. So to wrap this all up, overall, sales reps who regularly share content on social are 45% more likely to hit their quota and 57% more likely to generate leads. So to get this done, we're recommending 3 to 5 posts per week. You want to engage people in a conversation, build a community around your social media page. You want to build awareness, become a thought leader in your industry, and you want to keep in touch with your followers and make sure you stay engaged to keep them engaged and invested in you. And Instagram is an excellent way to leverage a new audience that you might not be hitting on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook. And they are a lot more likely to engage with your content on Instagram than any other social platform. And if you're new to the platform, it's a great way to show your customers new customers and your loyal customers alike who your brand is through visuals. And they can rely on you as a source of truth with all of their financial decisions. All right, so do we have any questions about Instagram? I see that we do have a few questions in the Q&A here.
Hey,
All right.
Kylie,
Yep.
I'm gonna pop in
Okay.
just for one of the questions. The best size for images to use across platforms. Instagram has some pretty strict size restrictions, and so a good rule of thumb that we like to recommend is that if it works for Instagram, it should work across the other networks. Since Instagram doesn't take a lot of larger images, try posting your images that work for Instagram across the networks. That should work a little bit better. I'm gonna let you go ahead and take the rest from Kylie.
Okay. Yep. So with Instagram sizing, their general rule is it has to be a perfect square. So the aspect ratio is basically, it has to be just as long as it is tall. So 110 pixels by 110 pixels, for example, a perfect square. That's what Instagram likes, and that's what works best. And in our media gallery, in our media area, if you click on one of the images and you just click that view button, it'll actually show you what platforms your image will work on and which images it won't. So that's a really cool feature that we have in our media section in our platform. Let's see here, another one. Let's see, not able to switch your Instagram account to a business account. Do I start all over again? So chances are, if you're not able to switch your Instagram account to a business account, if it's not due to just not being able to for personal reasons, a lot of times people can't switch their Instagram account over from a personal account to a business account because you just don't have your account set as public. In order to switch your account over from personal to business, you got to switch it over to a public profile, because you can't really gain followers for your business if your profile isn't public. So start there. And if you don't want to use your personal profile as a business account, then yes, we do recommend starting a new business page just for your business. Let's see. Did you IGTV and Reels block third-party posts? So Instagram doesn't allow, just their API doesn't allow Denim or any other third-party hosting platform to post anything besides an image or a video on your feed. So if you want to do IGTV or a reel or a story, just due to their API restrictions, you got to go to the actual app and post that way. All right, so an earlier slide said not to use a logo. Why would you not recommend that? So if you're just a single person, like a loan officer, you'd want to use your actual profile picture. If you are a business doing business, then if you're an actual business or an institution, then that's fine to use your logo. However, if you are one single person, like a loan officer, then you'd want to use an actual picture of yourself to give a face to your brand.
One way up at the top.
The URLs, the URL one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Instagram doesn't support URLs in their captions. So when you're posting on Facebook, for example, and you want to post a URL, that works great for Facebook, for LinkedIn. For Instagram, unfortunately, you can't post a URL, a clickable URL in your caption. In order to do that, there's a bit of a workaround, and you actually have to post there's a section in your bio where you would post a link. So a lot of people will say, hey, check out the link in our bio. That's where you'll find our website. So that's kind of the workaround that Instagram has for being able to direct people to an actionable place, would be just to tell your followers in your caption, hey, check out the link in our bio. That's our website. That's where you'll find information.
We've also got a few questions in the chat. Are you able to see those, Kylie?
I am in the chat. I see Q&A. I don't see the chat here. In Q&A, so a question. So if I use Denim Social for posting and it has a URL, will it reject on Instagram? it won't reject, but you're going to have an ugly URL that posts there. You can still post it. It's just the URL isn't going to be clickable. So you can say, like I said, just say, hey, click the link in our bio, and you can have that link. Chances are it's a website or a landing page for most of you, I believe. So you can just say, click that link, and that will hopefully bring them to your bio where they can click that. Does time zone make a difference for posting? You mentioned 2 o'clock. So if most of the people that you are servicing are in your same time zone, go ahead and post 2 o'clock in your time zone. It'll be 1 o'clock in Central Time. But if most of your people are, in your time zone, then just go along with your time zone.
So a question from the chat was, should I follow individuals or just businesses and thought leaders on my page?
I would recommend, and Marquise can chime in here as well, following businesses and thought leaders within your industry. And of course, if you do a lot more networking and you want to follow someone, they follow you back. That's a great way to, one, get your network built up, and to get some followers. And chances are, if you engage with a lot of people that you network with, they're going to engage back, and it's going to be a good back and forth there. Marcus, do you have a recommendation on that?
Yeah, the biggest thing would just be to follow people who add value to your business. So you may have to use your discretion there. Sometimes it may be an institution or business, sometimes it may be an individual, but you want to make sure that it's people that align with your specific industry.
All right. Any other questions here?
Yes, we have a few more. So how do we link our separate business account to Denim Social without linking it to a Facebook page?
All right. I'm gonna scroll up, see if I can read that question here. All right, so you can link and Taylor, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but you can link an Instagram business page to Denim Social without linking it to a Facebook page. I believe that you would just link it like you would any other social media network that you have. However, if you have a Facebook page, you would want to make sure that your Instagram and your Facebook pages are both associated within your Facebook. And we do have some help articles that we have in our help center that we can add into the email that we'll send out after this to show the ins and outs of connecting your Instagram. And then I see someone mentioned a link tree. So yes, if you do have multiple URLs that you would like to add, you can use a link tree. If you don't know what that is, it's just one link that houses multiple links for you. You can link out to your Facebook, your Twitter, your landing page if you have one, your website. It's a really valuable tool. If your compliance team or your institution is okay with you using a link tree, that is something you can definitely look into.
I have one comment, and I'm going to answer one more question from the chat. So the linking to Facebook, Kylie, I know you know the most about that one. I know that there have been some, like if it's not connected to a Facebook business page, there's been some, like it might error out. So I think that's something we highly recommend a Facebook business page being connected. So that's my 2 cents there. And then somebody asked in the chat, how do we chat with you guys one-on-one for coaching? First of all, I would highly recommend you reach out to your marketing team that for your institution or your organization. They're a great resource to start with. If you have questions on the product, or if you need more resources, we have a ton out on our help center that you can check out. Kylie, Marquise, any other recommendations there for one-on-one coaching for social media?
Yeah, everything that you said, Taylor. Reach out to your marketing team, and they're gonna be able to best help you to go ahead and get some coaching on just general best practices, maybe for your specific business. And if you have any questions regarding best practices on getting your accounts linked to us. We're available for any your support center down in the little chat bubble on your specific Denim social platform. You can go ahead and send us a chat if you have any issues connecting, or if you have any questions on Instagram in general on how to work in the Denim platform. Go ahead and shoot us a question there in the chat center. All right, any other questions? Let's see, the library, the calendar. All right, so we have a question on the content calendar that it was automated for evergreen post after you set it up. So that will be our scheduling feature. So you are able to go in and schedule out posts days, weeks, or months in advance. After you go ahead and schedule those out, they will automatically post to you on the specific platforms that you have gone in and selected those for. So that would be using our calendar feature and our scheduling out feature to go ahead and kind of do the work for you. All right, do we have any additional questions? All right, it doesn't look like it. If any of you have any additional questions, feel free to send us a chat in the Help Center, and we'll be more than happy to get those answered for you. Other than that, look forward to an email after us with this presentation, along with an infographic regarding Instagram, and we will see you next month for the next Lunch and Learn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.